I'll just remind honourable members what we're talking about here. This matter was referred to the OLG back in January 2019. It then took some 18 months to do the investigation, and that investigation was the subject of the original SO52. We're in receipt of that. It's a privileged document, okay? So when you talk about procedural fairness, we already got that SO52. We got the details of the investigation. What this is about is what Minister Hancock did or didn't know. What interactions were there between her and the Secretary, Mr Hurst, on this character? And the idea that she wouldn't have known that there were donations made, or that the Electoral Commission had said that he'd made a false declaration on his declaration form, beggars belief. It was all over the news. The Electoral Commission said to the OLG, this is what's happened, and then there's this defence of, well, I can't be expected to know. This bloke, everyone knew what this bloke was up to. She's the Minister for Local Government. She's in charge of the department. What this particular iteration of the SO52 is now trying to do is ascertain whether or not there was any communication between the Minister, who has a responsibility to the public, to make sure these things are done in a proper, transparent way, and she's got oversight of whether or not she had any conversations or not. If she hasn't, then the SO52 will turn up whether or not she had conversations or not. That's all we're asking for. Yeah. Because to be quite frank, it beggars belief that a Minister of the Crown wouldn't have had discussions with the Secretary of her department about such a high-profile case. And the fact that it's off at NCAT now is not going to bias, to take up my honourable colleague Taylor Martin's point, it's not going to bias procedural fairness. It's in NCAT now. We're not asking for the NCAT investigation ongoing to be delivered in the SO52. We're asking for correspondence and details pertaining to the investigation, and specifically the communication between the Minister and the Secretary of her department. There is no bias of the investigation. And again, Mr Mallard talks about the Minister not having to be across all these sorts of things with donations and whatnot. As I said, it's on the public record. It's a matter of public record, both in the media and the fact that the Electoral Commission's reported. So I think this is more than fair. We're pursuing our obligations to the New South Wales people. It's not about the seat of Strathfield. We would do this anywhere if this sort of thing was happening in any other seat. So I commend the motion to the House. It's a shame that One Nation aren't supporting us on an SO52 that goes to genuine probity, but we will press the case and we won't give up till we get to the bottom of it. And if the Minister's got nothing to hide, if she hasn't been talking to her Secretary, then presumably the papers will turn that fact up and will go away.